Hi, friends. Hello there, friends. Host Derek here with a fairly dark topic tonight. The title of the video is DMX, Warren Zevon, Adam Yauch, Andy Kaufman. What they all have in common, of course, is they died fairly young. Or DMX isn't dead yet, but sorry, DMX, I mean to announce your death too soon. But the thing is, as a society, we tend to put a lot of energy into people who die in their 20s because it's a particularly poignant cutting short of life. But the one that's always affected me a lot is Warren Zevon. Like, if you really get this sense from Warren Zevon of when he received a diagnosis that he only had a couple months to live, and he was 56 years old. I'm almost 50. I'll be 50 this month. His response, you can just read it in his body language and everything, in interviews at the time, or when he's performing "My Shit's Fucked Up," which is a song he wrote after and upon learning about this diagnosis, which is a crazy song. If you see him perform it live, it's intense. But it seems very clear to me that, like, Warren Zevon somehow wasn't supposed to die when he did. That Adam Yauch somehow wasn't supposed to die when he. Well, see, Adam Yauch is different though. So the former Beastie Boy, Adam Yauch, R.I.P. He had traversed his artistic path and his path as an identity, as a person, as a public figure anyway, and was basically done being artistically relevant. I definitely get the sense that Warren Zevon, though much more respected in the industry and much more successful commercially and artistically, maybe even than I certainly am, had a similar attitude towards music. He was still working on, still trying to figure it out. And so when he got this diagnosis of he's going to die in a couple months, this message I get just radiating from the guy was, "You got to be fucking kidding me." That's how I would react, you know. I identify with that guy somewhat, Warren Zevon. I'm not sure why. So Andy Kaufman, well, in general, what I'm talking about here is the reality of people who die young but don't die in their 20s. So some of these people you feel more like some of them I identify more tragically with than others. So, for example, Andy Kaufman was not done. Hi, Moxie. He was not done at all, and he was frustrated. DMX was done. Adam Yauch was done. Warren Zevon was not done. I'm not done, you know. Mortality is ultimately the scariest. It's a defining quality of human beings, right? That we can and will die. So much so that is the defining quality of us that we've had this whole COVID nightmare, right? Yeah, Andy Kaufman died of lung cancer. Interestingly, non-smoker. As everyone assumes when you hear somebody died of lung cancer that it must have been a smoker, but he was not a smoker. Yeah, well, see, this is the thing. I identify of these 4 people noted here: Warren Zevon, Adam Yauch, DMX, and Andy Kaufman. I identify most clearly with Warren Zevon. Andy Kaufman is obviously NEFI, and as a consequence, I never liked him very much. I never thought he was particularly funny. I never was impressed with his art stuff that he did. But only very silly people. Yeah, Mighty. Okay, I agree with the Mighty Mouse bit. It's pretty hilarious. He has some funny stuff. He's better than a lot of people, but it's like I don't believe him when he's conveying near his death basically the same thing that I just attributed to Warren Zevon, because you've got to be fucking kidding me, right? I don't think that it's nearly that the amount of that is deserved for Andy Kaufman than is deserved for Warren Zevon, who was an incredible musician. He wrote some absolutely brilliant songs, but he also was hit and miss in his songwriting. He was still trying to figure it out, and he struggled with drugs and alcohol and stuff. So, he had to go in and out of rehab and shit. I don't really identify with him in that capacity because I was a drunk, but other than that, I mean, I was a meth addict, but the one thing that I really felt like was me having problems with drugs and alcohol was alcohol more than anything else by far. So even though being a meth addict was not a good thing, I'm glad I'm not one. I don't personally feel like it was as harmful to me as alcohol was. Although I'm sure a lot of people would just say that's insane. But every time I hear about somebody trying stupid holistic medicine when they have cancer and then them dying, I feel a kind of evil sense of satisfaction. Like, well, that's what you get, idiot. I'm sure I can cure my cancer with aromatherapy. Okay, you go ahead and try that, Steve Jobs. Not very nice of me, but was Andy Kaufman ENFP? Probably. DMX is dead, basically. He'll never have any non-coma moments anymore. So he's dead. He had 30 minutes. When I read about the initial reports and it said his brain was without oxygen for 30 minutes. I mean, I didn't have to read any further than that to know that he's a vegetable forever at best. They should just take him off of life support. But the key thing here is these people all died in their 40s, 50s, Andy Kaufman was in his 30s. People don't tend to think of those deaths as quite as tragic. Like Jimmy Valvano was in his late 30s, I think. Again, Warren Zevon, he probably smoked a lot of stuff in his life, but Jimmy Valvano was a non-smoker, died of cancer, and Andy Kaufman was a health nut, died of lung cancer. Here's the thing. I don't like that song, Werewolves of London, actually. We just finally you linked it, but I'd like to link a different one, if that's okay with everybody. This one is called Roland the Headless Thompson Gunner. It's a pretty great song. But maybe my favorite Warren Zevon song is Excitable Boy. It's got really weird lyrics. Which one is worse, having alcohol addiction or having a mental issue? What do you mean by a mental issue? Like mental illness? Or I'm not sure what you mean. Hi, Marge. How are you doing this evening? Another person who died around 50 was Prince. I don't identify with him at all, because he had definitely run his arc. I mean, yeah, he was still performing and was performing quite well. I saw him shortly before he died at the Forum. But I guess what I'm getting at is I've lived a pretty full life. I've done a lot of things. I've traveled a lot. I've worked in the education field in a variety of capacities, from substitute teacher all the way to school owner. I couldn't really fairly say I hadn't been given enough of a shot to accomplish things in 50 years. But I still feel like for sure that everything that came before is just a precursor to the main act of my life, which is yet to come. I mean, I would say having a mental illness is quote unquote worse because I guess addiction, like the way I was addicted to alcohol was essentially a form of mental illness. It's a behavioral disorder where a person no, I know, Winston's mom. That's what I'm saying. If I were to get some sort of diagnosis, I couldn't really say I wasted my time, that I didn't have fun, that I didn't do anything. But I would definitely feel like, the concert got canceled after the opening band. And of all the people who've died around my time that I could think of off the top of my head anyway, the one who really resonates most with me as a tragedy is Warren Zevon. Because I don't know what type he is. Got a lot of that crappy white stuff out of my system. It's true. I guess mental illness is worse because I'd rather have a problem that requires me to not do something in order for it not to be a problem than to have a problem that requires me to do something in order for it to not be a problem. So what I mean by that is if I have a mental illness, I have to take medication for it not to be a problem. If I have alcohol addiction, I have to not drink alcohol for it not to be a problem. One requires inaction, the other requires action. So I prefer the inaction one because I have trouble maintaining action. I'm much better at the inertia of inaction. But you might be the other way around for somebody else. So, for them it would be different, I guess. I'm pleased that I have had, I guess you'd say, access to meaningful data on mental illness that operates within my data processing range, which is to say, I need to have some SI experiential relationship with something. I fear death in the sense that my story would just stop. I fear not being alive more than I fear dying, if that makes sense. I had never considered physical pain of death until someone brought it up. I fear, I guess, most of all, the idea of there being a diagnosis and then being afforded a finite amount of time left that's fairly short. That seems like a catastrophe. I'd much rather be hit by a bus. Yeah. That's what I wouldn't be able to handle. Because if you know you're dying, in 2 months, and you can feel very confident that the doctor's, whatever they say, prognosis is accurate and everything. You got good reason to believe it, and you've looked at the X-rays, you've seen the tumors all over or whatever, and you know that you're alive now, but you definitely won't be 6 months from now. That switch of status from somebody who knows that they're mortal and will eventually die to somebody who knows they're dying is a hugely significant shift in ontology, right? Because to know that you're going to die is just to know that you're like everybody else. But to know that you're dying is to change your frame of reference. All of a sudden, you no longer have any room for long-term visions. All of a sudden, you no longer have any. You have to reevaluate everything you're doing, every project you're working on. You have to decide what's my last and final. Yeah, It makes me sad to think about it. See, I think everybody's scared of different things about death. I'm Moxie. What I'm saying here is I'm mostly scared of knowing that I'm going to die, and concretely. I'm mostly scared of the Cyclops' knowledge, right? The Cyclops has a knowledge in that they can see their own death. They know the scene of their own death their whole life. They don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but they know exactly what it's going to look like and how they're going to die. So, when they walk into a room and they see the person finally for the first time that's going to end up killing them, they go, oh, well, no matter how much they try to avoid their fate, then they still get killed. So it's like, but even if I were a Cyclops, I mean, the thing is, if you could see the scene of your own death, you'd constantly be keeping your that sounds depressing as hell, Winston. Oh, there's no way I'm gonna watch that film. That sounds like the most depressing thing I've ever heard. I guess I mean, thanks, Moxie. I appreciate that. I guess I'm in a dark mood tonight, kind of an emotional mood. When you were 7, you predicted that you will die in 2081. Let's see how 2 to 7-year-old me was. If I die 2081, how old will I be? 110? Sounds about right. Eric Roberts, huh? I think I know who you're talking about. I need a taller chair. You'd be 80, huh? Yeah, I'm kind of in a dark mood tonight, and I made that little song. It's just kind of like middle finger to the world or something. I don't know. Not that I feel angry at all. I don't feel angry. I feel sad. But I'm not sure why. Probably just need to get a little more sleep or something. Or I don't know. Maybe I should eat something more. Emotions are dumb. I don't like them. You know what I'm saying? They really are. Just so dumb. It's like, come the fuck on. Emotions? Who asked for you? Not me. Like everybody talks about, like, you know, people who died in their 20s, like Mac Miller or Lil Peep or Kurt Cobain. The thing is, Winston's mom, feelings for me don't get in the way of good thinking, really. Feelings, though, get in the way of talking for me. I find whenever I'm trying to understand my feelings, process them, deal with feeling bad or sad or whatever, that when I try to explain the why of it, it shuts down my ability to speak. It's like I can't, when I'm trying to process FI stuff, it's not something I can't talk it out. That's the thing. I can't talk it out. I can talk out everything pretty much, but not feeling sad, really. Feelings in the third slot is a little like babysitting yourself as a child. I like that analogy, metaphor, whatever you want to call it. I like that walk to poop town. It's all filled up with poop. As far as my polar FI goes, FI6, when sadness sets in, it's really just, shit, here we go again. Huh. I don't feel sad that often, you know. You don't let the house goblins snatch the cig out of your hand. I'll light it eventually. I like to hold it more than I like to light it sometimes. Do you have a bowl to pull? I don't have a bowl to pull. That's the problem. Is I really don't want to smoke a cigarette right now. I want to smoke a bowl. How will an Entp deal with his FE? I mean, usually it's possible to make people hop to if you critique their fourth slot, because it's a function that everybody acknowledges sort of naturally is they understand it's not, they're not living up to expectations in that area, or that they're substandard, because they understand for within their own selves, for just their own agential purposes, they're substandard. Actually, I cleaned it the other day. I cleaned it quite a bit. You'd have been surprised how much, well, you wouldn't be surprised, but a lot of bottom resin came out of there, let me tell you. Like the shit ton. Because it had gotten so clogged that the problem was I'd be poke. It wouldn't do any good. Because why? Finally, I figured out, it's clogged here. Now, granted, it has an ice catcher, so it's not this big all the way down, but still bigger than this, and it was clogged in the main part there. So I said, okay, Eric, you gotta clean your bong now. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. If the main part is getting clogged, then your bong is too dirty. Oh no, I talked about him. I said how he's dead. That we shouldn't really consider him alive anymore. That as soon as I heard that he was, his brain was without oxygen for 30 minutes, I knew he was basically dead. The other thing I said, though, our Vision TV, is that, because I mentioned 4 people, I said at least 2 of them I don't identify with at all. And one of them I sort of have some identification with, because what I'm talking about is people who are my own age, who died too young, but not in their 20s. When people die in their 20s, they become these sort of iconic figures. You got your Jimi Hendrix, you got your Kurt Cobain, you got your Mac Miller, you know. So what I'm saying is that DMX, I feel like he was able to run his course more or less. You know, he was able to be a successful artist, say what he had to say in front of everybody as he wanted to, and that he had more or less shot his artistic load. I feel the same thing about Adam Yauch, and I don't feel the same way about Warren Zevon and Andy Kaufman. Now, I don't really identify with Andy Kaufman because I think that Andy Kaufman more shot his load artistically than he thought. But I do identify with him in the sense that what I'm saying basically here is that if I were to get a diagnosis of a prognosis of a couple months to live or something, then I think I would feel like I believe Warren Zevon felt about it, which is, like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I've barely even begun. I get that sense from Warren Zevon in his song, My Shit's Fucked Up. Let's link to that. I'll link to it. This song, I already put Roland the Headless Thompson Gunner, but this song, yeah, I mean, the ones who die in their late 40s or early 50s, or Andy Kaufman doesn't really fit in there because he was in his 30s, but he's kind of a halfway thing. People die in their 20s, they become big cultural icons. People die in their 40s or 50s. It depends really whether they've what their career has been like, but it also depends on their own self concept. Andy Kaufman and Warren Zevon both had in their own self concept a lot of important work left to do, quote unquote. Whereas I think Adam Yauch had, come into being a family man or whatever he was doing, and had shot his artistic load more or less. I think Warren Zevon actually was right in thinking he needed more time. And of those four, I would say Warren Zevon was the one who, on some platonic level, wasn't supposed to die when he did. Prince is another one. Prince was done artistically. I saw him perform shortly before his death, maybe a couple months before he died, and he was still killing it in performance. I got to tell you, he looked he didn't look 50 whatever he was, but most people who are famous, who are ever going to get famous, are already famous by the time they're. We might as well consider him dead. Yeah. His brain was without oxygen for 30 minutes. He's not really alive. They just got blood flowing through him and ventilator and stuff. So he's on life support, quote unquote. It's artificially pumping his shit around. Maybe his organs are still alive, but he's dead. My point is, he was around my age, So made me think of death. Obviously, when I read about young people dying in their 20s, I feel like, God, it's a crying shame. When I read other people my own age dying, I go, because like the ones who die in their 20s, it's very rare for them to naturally die. For anybody to naturally die in their 20s. You look at the death, what percentage chance when you're going to die and stuff. It's very low to have naturally occurring deaths that are, say, from disease or something like that in your 20s. It's very unlikely, because for people who get cancer or something really young, like Andy Kaufman, it shows you it's mostly genetic, because he was a big health nut, but he got cancer at 34. Or Jimmy Valvano is another one who got a lot of cancer, but never was any kind of smoker or anything. You prefer government-made drugs? Listen, even government-made drugs are ultimately made by the regular citizens whom the government employs to make them. I mean, Andy Kaufman died because, in part, he thought he was going to try some sort of holistic bullshit health remedies, you know. So I'm not one to shit on Western medicine. Anyway, you know, I feel ultimately like Eminem in the song Godzilla when he says, I just get handsomer and flyer." You know, there's a certain natural optimism to the ENTP that recognizes, I guess, well, it's also a recognition of the fact that it took me a long time to grow up. So now that I'm growing up, don't dismiss me because I'm old. You know, I wasn't ready until now. Andy died on drugs in a lab. I don't know anything about that, but take your word for it. Well, I mean, yeah, and the cool thing about Eminem, of course, is, but you got to remember that he's pulling it off successfully. It didn't have to go that way, though, right? ENTP, INFP compatibility. Not good, but the ENTP probably won't know. Only one of them is emotionally. Only one of them speaks the language of emotions, so it's kind of a tough relationship to navigate. For the ENTP, it's like torture, kind of. But I've been in one. Well, our Vision TV. Here's what I've said before about typing Eminem. If you were to look at interviews of Eminem and base your typing of Eminem off those interviews, you'd probably conclude he was an STP, possibly an ISTP. If you type him based on his body of work, you conclude he must be an NTP. So, I mean, I am 100% as certain as I can be for myself, for my own purposes, that Eminem is an ENTP. But I already know that I can't really convince other people of that because it's not the sort of argument that you can really win. In order to win the argument, you have to already agree with my definition of extroverted intuition. And that's where the argument always gets down to is, well, I don't agree with your definition of extroverted intuition then, Eric. And I say, okay, well, and there you have it. I mean, the only other type I'd buy besides ENTP for Eminem would be INTP. I would buy that. Although I think if you look at shit from when he's really young, he had a much more extroverted affect and he developed a more introverted affect because that's what was cool, basically, in the industry, you know? So he is third slot FE. If I'm, you know. So I will share with the 11 people here this crazy stuff I got. This is this white powder stuff here. Let me turn this light off. It is marijuana concentrate. But it's white powder, like it looks like, you know, coke or meth or something, but it's not. It's just it's just marijuana concentrate. But it's very clean. It's like, ooh, it's so clean. It doesn't really make me cough any more than regular weed does. The problem with concentrate normally is I get sick of coughing, you know? I don't like to cough. I don't normally cough that much when I just regularly smoking weed. And then when I smoke concentrate, usually I cough a lot. But not this stuff. This stuff's clean as a whistle. It's not keef. No. This is shatter. Well, it's crumble, but very high quality crumble. So it's like 88% THC or something like that. Yeah, I actually don't know what the percentage on this is. I just threw that number out there randomly, but I know they tend to be up around there somewhere. Wow. That's a spicy meatball, as they say in Italy. I like the idea of type policing myself. I mean, I think I'd have to let myself go, probably. You're 100% MLG? What's MLG? Mother's Lovely Gravy? You're 100% Mother's Lovely Gravy? Oh, chapter 10 of psychological types. Are you really trying to hear? So I'm just going to keep saying that until Eric reads it. All right, I'll read it. But I won't read it before telling you, you're not going to trick me like that, Winston's mom. I know what you're doing. I mean, Italy's a country, not a person. Italy helped Europe rape Africa. Talk about some metaphorical language. Continent rape is an increasing problem. Why, just yesterday, Antarctica raped South Africa. South Africa was saying, stop. South America. Central America ran over to try to help, but it was too late. Antarctica had already come. They did retain semen samples so we can prosecute, but got some bad news. South America is pregnant and Catholic. North America's like, keep me out of this shit, you guys. Keep me out of it. I mean, Africa rapes itself quite a bit too. Don't forget about that. You got your Hutus and your smutnies or whatever killing each other. You got, it's like, it's not like, it's not like the, it's not like anybody there is doing a particularly great job of managing shit by and large, but some countries are doing better than others, It's funny how, like, people try to frame history as though it's a mantle that individuals nowadays have to wear around with them. It's insane. I refuse your mantle of history as a framing for my present. Instead, I'll give you a handful of misery. Here, take this instead. It is better. Well, I'm not saying Europe is somehow setting a standard for how to behave. I mean, I don't have a good example of how to behave that I can point to and say, let's be like them. I guess the wise people of Uruguay have it down, maybe. Or was that Bolivia? Bolivia, Uruguay, who can keep them apart? I can't ever remember which is which. Panama is the one with the canal. That one's easy to remember. How would the world function if there's only one cognitive function? You have to have at least two to pay attention. So, like, extroverted intuition can work with TI or it can work with SI or it can work with SE. Maybe it can work with NI sometimes, but it can't work by itself. And in contrast, I think that the knowledge interfacers, they have to work with those two functions concurrently all the time. But that's just a hypothesis, I guess, at the moment. Maybe because I can't imagine. It seems like, okay, so with TI, you're taking a turn-based approach to language, and you're saying, let me parse it down and see what it does. But, so it's paired with an action function, extroverted intuition. So that means, like, right now, I'm trying to explain the idea by generating new words that parse down what I'm saying and render it into more bite-sized or more conceptually consumable chunks or something. But I could also use extroverted intuition with SI to tell a story based off some of my memories. I don't have the story memorized, so I'm generating it as I go. I could use extroverted intuition in conjunction with SE to talk about this lighter or whatever in front of me. I can't really, I mean, I don't know how I would isolate using just extroverted intuition and introverted intuition, perhaps because I have a less clear understanding of how, a less clear experiential understanding of how the two engage each other in myself. Again, it's something I just sort of musing on anyway. It's not like, it's, some things are weird. Some things are hard to understand. Some things are easy to understand. Some things are hard. It's like some shit's so at this point just so incredibly obvious to me. Like talking to Jeffrey's mom, um, the wall I hit when between her and continual insistence on interface, which ultimately works most of the time to accomplish what she wants. In other words, she does in fact get me to work with Jeffrey, even though I don't want to on most things. Occasionally I'll draw a line, but you know. So Jeffrey sort of like decided he was obsessed with his story. So he a time travel story. So we had this big sort of, yeah, you may have been here, I don't know. I talked to him on the phone last night about it, and Amanda May was here, and she suggested that he do two versions. Well, he didn't take up that suggestion, but it did get me out of the phone call, so it was just as good a suggestion as now as it was then. But what he ended up doing was changing the story to give one of the characters a different motivation for wanting to travel back in time, and that was smart. And then he started extending it some, and he got to the spot where he was stuck. And he said, "Well, I don't know how to end this." And I said, "How about you have the main character kill Rama, follow through on his basic position, which is I'll do anything to save to travel. Now that I know I can travel back in time and save my sister, prevent her from dying in that car crash, I will do it. So he's so committed to the idea now that he kills Rama, the other guy. And then he gets in the time machine and it doesn't work. So that's using extroverted intuition and introverted intuition together. I guess that'd be a good example of it. That's me using my introverted intuition. No, he really liked the idea. Now there's no more problems. He just wasn't satisfied with it before for good reasons. I wouldn't have been satisfied either. But it's like, but this is a stupid way to work because we start by following these rules that are arbitrary and stupid to begin with. And then when you realize finally that I'm right, that you can't possibly write anything good while following all these rules, then you start breaking the rules. Well, I mean, why don't you just start breaking them in the first place? You can't have your cake and eat it too. And that's the problem with Jeffrey's mom. She always wants to have her cake and eat it too. She wants to both dance to the teacher's stupid arbitrary tune and concurrently have Jeffrey make something that's actually good. No, Boba Fett. Absolutely not. I don't agree with you that the mods are bad on TWP. I think they're great. I think that's crazy. What are you comparing them against? Nobody ever answers that question. I've asked it to everybody who's ever complained about the mods. Nobody answers that question. Oh, okay. Well, if he's willing to make a video, I'm down. Is he available right now? I've got oils on my skin. If he's available to do it right now and is willing to let me record and make a video, I'll do it right now for free. I feel mysterious. I have mysterious feelings in my heart. What do you think about that? Are you understanding the mystery? Are you loving how mysterious I am? Oh my God, Eric. You're so mysterious. Yeah, I am. I'm more mysterious than you'll ever be. Where's my, yeah. Here it is. So make this a little bit bigger. I put on my glasses too. That's fine. Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you. Why do stars fall down from the sky every time you walk by? Just like me, they long to be close to you. On the day that you were born, the angels got together and decided to create a dream come true. So they sprinkle stardust in your hair and golden sunlight in your eyes of blue. And that is why all the girls in town follow you all around. Just like me, they long to be close to you. On the day that you were born, the angels got together and decided to create a dream come true. So they sprinkled moon dust in your hair and golden sunlight in your eyes of blue. That's what they did. And then what happened? Well, that is why all the girls in town follow you all around. Well, just like me, they long to be close to you. That's Carpenter's classic, Close to You. Special day here. We're talking with Spanish people. We're playing love songs and classics. Okay. Look at me. That one. Look at me. I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree. And I feel like I'm clinging to a cloud I can't understand. I get misty just holding your hand. Walk my way, and 1,000 violins begin to play. Or it might be the sound of your hello, the music I hear. I get misty the moment you're near. You can see that you're leading me on, but it's just what I want you to do. Don't you notice how hopelessly I'm lost? That's why I am following you. On my own. When I wander through this wonderland alone, never knowing my right foot from my left, my hat from my glove, I'm too misty and too much in love. Yes, I'm too misty and too much in love. Yes, too misty and too much in love. Going way back in time to explore the past, the history of times before, when things were older and things were a simpler time. A time when people enjoyed things simply, and simple times led the day. Okay, let's play a simple song from the good old days here on Classics and Love Songs. I love Java, sweet and hot. What's this tomato? I'm a coffee pot. Shoot me a pot and I'll pour me a shot. A cup, a cup, a cup, a cup, a cup. Oh, I see. I skipped the first verse. That's what happened. I have to start up here. My bad. I love coffee, I love tea. I love the Java and it loves me. Coffee and tea and the Java and me. A cup, a cup, a cup, a cup, a cup. I love Java, sweet and hot. What's this tomato? I'm a coffee pot. Shoot me a pot and I'll pour me a shot. A cup, a cup, a cup, a cup, a cup. Oh, slip me a slug from that wonderful mug, and I'll cut a rug till I'm snug in the jug. Well, a slice of onion and a raw one. Where the percolator. I love coffee, I love tea. I love the Java, it loves me. Coffee and tea, and the Java and me. A cup. Oh, Boston beans, soybeans. I mean those little bitty green beans, cabbage and greens. You know that I'm not keen about a bean unless it is a cherry bean. Cocky boy, I love coffee, sweet and hot. I love the Java, it's down long. Let me a pot and I call me a shot. A cup. Something like that. What's that one song I sang that one time with that one band? Remember? Nobody remembers, huh? Well, I guess I'll play a couple of my own songs now. First, I'll just play this. First, I'll just play this song I'm gonna make up right now. I'm feeling blue and sad. I'm feeling sad and blue. I don't know what to do. Is it so bad to chew? I cannot consume things that will not fit inside my stomach and cannot be digested. I'm feeling sad and blue, and you know who is feeling too, and I won't, because if I do, then I will beat every view, and I'm feeling sad and blue. But whatever can one do when one has a brand new shoe and has a brand new shoe? I have this one song called Boo Failure Boo. I really need to learn how to play it. I'm always singing it in my head. Boo failure, boo, a boo failure, a boo failure. I know you are not very popular. Santa Ana's from the east are blowing, driving on this mountain fire. So Grant and Lana had best be going, 'cause they cut it down to the wire. And everywhere apocalypse hung heavy, truck was piling up with ash. Lana got the dogs in the Chevy, and Grant counted out their petty cash. If times are ending, then time is bending. Flames are raining down from the sky, while the dogs knock out with Grant exhausted. Lana stays awake to cry. 120 out with Labor Day, and that means cooking meat outdoors. Guy got distracted and fire got away. From Bradford to Arcadia, they curse his name. Fire chased them west and down the incline until they've reached the foothills below. Found a room cheap for the night online. At least now they had someplace to go. Tomorrow they'd evaluate their options now that their life had burned away. Lana's sister has a place in Long Plan. Wasn't really any more to say. If times are ending, then time is bending. Flames are raining down from the sky, while the dogs knock out with Grant exhausted. Lana stays awake to cry. Now the dogs knock out with Grant exhausted. Lana stays awake to cry. That was pretty good. Kind of messed up the Chisaurus. The Chisaurus divorce. Sammy has a story that need be told, and this is a song for an open road. And such a thing must always do its job. She married up Jeb, turned 19, 4 years and 3 kids. Weary now and questioning the path. Agency outpaces discretion, locking in our courses way too young. The urgency conferred is really just oppression, making sure those underneath them always run. Everybody's panicked about the kids. Lock them up with Excedrin. Mathematics to produce success, or impose more unjust duress. Agency outpaces discretion, locking in our courses way too young. The urgency conferred is really just oppression, making sure those underneath them always run. Don't get 20 thought bourbon fun, likewise so at 21 and so forth, well up into middle age. Well, once it seemed to set him free, became his whole identity. Now Doug's about another drunken rage. Agency outpaces discretion, locking in our courses way too young. The urgency conferred is really just oppression. Offer you incentives, but they haven't got a thing that's fun. Everybody's panicked about the kids. Lock them up with extra Excedrin. Mathematics to produce success, or propose more unjust duress. Agency outpaces discretion, like more courses way too young. The urgency conferred is really just oppression, locking and always run. Without consent, it's really just oppression by parasites surviving on the wages earned by lying. Well, they feed their fear of dying. Yeah, they feed upon the futures of the young. That was okay. Played that pretty okay, I guess. 30,000 days, too many expectations, not even worth a damn. 30,000 nights to sleep off the intoxication of the body. You won't escape the plan. I've wasted half my days trying on others' ways. Who can tell me my priorities? Is there anybody knows the key? 'Cause I'm tired of doing it wrong. Want direction and have all along. Wait until I know. Or is that just hesitation? Girl is no good once your chance is gone. What I need to show is a toe below my station. I'm tired of doing it wrong. I've wasted half my days trying another's ways. Who can tell me my priorities? Is there anybody knows the key? 'Cause I think I'm doing this wrong. Yeah, I think I'm doing this wrong. Yeah, I think I'm doing this wrong. Doing it wrong. I did that one kind of wrong. Not that wrong. Sort of wrong. Medium wrong. I'd like my steak medium wrong, please. When I was younger, it seemed that everything gleamed. I don't know what happened to me, but I've lost that sense of urgency, and I don't think that I'll ever see it again. If you follow my lead, you'll discover I'm loster than you. And you'll want to know the way to get back out to wherever it was you thought you knew. And tomorrow will be just like today. I'll be lost then too. It's a matter of mood as much as a matter of will. And the things I do and the direction I point to still seem a part of me, reportedly. And I wonder if I'll ever see them again. Ba-ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da, ba-ba-da-da-da-da-da. Wa-ba-da-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-ba-ba-da-da. Well, that's an easy song to play. Now we're going to play a hard song to play. But I've been having better luck with it when I've been playing with just bass notes, basically. Too much noise in the data stream. Loud enough to disrupt everybody's dreams. Frustrations mean mistakes are made until it seems everybody's just throwing shade. I won't be another casualty of other people's well-intentioned rules. I used to think that some tomorrow there'd be time for yesterday. It's not the sort of thing that one can borrow. No one willing still to lend a day. Our uncertainty's implicit, just like an unexpected visit from a bunch of men all dressed in blue suits. I won't be another casualty of other people's well-intentioned rules. I used to think that some tomorrow there'd be time for yesterday. Well, that was probably better than I usually play it, which isn't saying much. I never play this song because it's so hard to sing. Maybe if I sing it really low, I'll be able to play it, but it's like in a terrible spot for my vocal range. There's my water. I don't hydrate enough. If Jesus was people but absent of sin, he must then have struggled with regular men and women, of course. When they too were present, disciples all warily eyeing the lesson. It's too low for me to sing in the low register. If people were Jesus, they'd know as they think, and everyone's work would be true. Feelings once spoken would sit where they sink, and we'd all know just what to do. But people aren't Jesus once they're betrayed. The easy believing forever is lost. Maybe naivete, not to be saved, but the wise pay a terrible cost. Does virtue require a rational take, or is virtue that's reasoned invariably fake? Musing itself just distracts from the flow, or remembered by deliberate and slow. People aren't Jesus once they're betrayed. The easy believing forever is lost. Maybe naivete is not to be saved, but the wise pay a terrible cost. The one you thought you knew acts like you never have met. The life you made for two has faded into regrets. No one unshaken, we all have been shook, but being forsaken don't mean you forsook. And though in the past we've been hung out to dry, we'll find them at last if we're willing to try. People aren't Jesus once they're betrayed. Easy believing forever is lost. Maybe naivete is not to be saved, but the wise pay a terrible cost. Maybe naivete is not to be saved, but the wise pay a terrible cost. You sing like a little angel, Eric. Oh my gosh. You were such a little darling little angel. What's the matter with chat? Eric, what is wrong with you? Can you never be actually like competent at anything? Are you just forever doomed to this weird whatever it is? Yes, that's correct. You've correctly diagnosed the situation. Oh, great, thanks. As long as I've correctly diagnosed it. What's the matter with? What's the matter with? Go up all the way to the fret. What's the matter with Chad? Is he terribly bad? Is he very like Dan, who's a terrible man? Is he sort of like Jill, who can't pay her bill? Or rather like Jack, too stuck on the facts? What's the matter with Sue? Will she know what to do if they bring attitude? Will she show ingenuity? She talks about you whenever we go walking. What's the matter with Bren? Is she living in sin? Is she hanging with Jim? He's looking terribly thin. What's the deal with Frank? Stealing fish from a tank. He's colluding with you, and they're talking to Lou. What's wrong with the ladies? What's the matter with men? From the feelings of Katie to the coldness of Sven. They talk about you whenever we go walking. Paths that lead to lesser days still spill out the over-watered past, and whoever's left that's still okay, just tie the sails to the mast. Are you angry at Ken or at Neville again? Don't bother with Kev, he's practically dead. Just focus on Bert, he's medium hurt. What's the quandary for Liz? Did she fail a quiz? Will she know what to do if they bring attitude? Will she show ingenuity? She talks about you whenever we go walking. Paths that lead to lesser days still at the overwatered past, and whoever's left that's still okay, just tie the sails to the mast. 'Cause each of us has much from gravely sent. Throw up the hands, stiffen the chin. Catastrophe looms heavy overhead again. Time's gone will never be again. Oh, he came here with her, and what's the big problem that you can't endure? You seem so sure it's not appropriate claiming to blame things on Scott. Despite getting caught, he's got you refraining for him, training for him, going to the gym to make yourself good enough again. Yeah, you guys both have lost invested. That's not a reason to stay around. Through the years, you've both been tested. Time to move up, find the ground. Oh, he came here with her. And what's the problem that you can't endure? You seem so sure it's not appropriate claiming to blame things on Scott. Despite getting caught, he's got you reframing for him, straining for him, going to the gym to make yourself good enough again. Be done with him. I didn't play that very well. I could play that better, but you know, sometimes people fail in life. Nothing you can do. Just watch them fail and shake your head. Say, damn, look at him fail. All you can do. You're living on a time frame I will never know. Alienation and humanity's soul. Imagine you a future after the collapse, returning to the urgency of isolated past. Picturing community free of metaphysics. You're hunting buffalo and you're picking red delicious. Knowledge of the seasons, wisdoms of old. Fires blazing in the night to keep away the cold. Hostility is kept at bay by what you think is in the way of life as children of the land, with an agave weatherman. Imagining a history that never could have been. You lecture at the college, advancement is a sin. Lamenting disconnection and every corporate act, asserting all your feelings and ignoring all the facts. Hostility is kept at bay by what you think is in the way of life as children of the land, with an agave weatherman. Find modernity just so banal. Wish you had lived any time but now, and your experience won't run afoul of exceptions you might allow. Well, you visualize nobility sipping on some port, or tribes of peaceful savages in beautiful comport, with few of history's people ever thusly did cavort, 'cause life was solitary, nasty, brutish, poor, and short. Hostility is kept at bay by what you think is in the way of life as children of the land, with an agave weatherman. With an agave weatherman. No good comes from skating on with them whom you'd mistaken for the one. Start this song over. No good comes from skating on with them whom you'd mistaken for the one. Habituated defense and indecency, self-inflicted eventually once your search is done. Driving in the car last night, we had a massive fight. Each insisting we were right and the other one to blame. So when you pulled that stunt, I screamed something awfully blunt. My word was wrong, as they were dumb, and I burned my share of shame. It's each of our own clear, so the others sailing off to reset their life and all. You can trust me, I can trust you, though that's much true. The love lays deep between you and me. At least about that we can both agree. Driving in the car last night, we had a massive fight. Each insisting we were right and the other one to blame. So when you put that stuff, I screamed something awfully blunt. My words were as wrong as they were dumb, and I've earned my share of shame. My share of shame. Yes, I've earned it. My share of shame. You come outside, your arms are folded. I'm getting scolded for playing again. I wanna be as much as I can in terms of the man you want me to be. I've got to do what I got to do. I'll include you in everything that I can. 'Cause I'm your man and you're my girl. I mean my woman in this world. You're the one I will be with till my dying day. You want my belief, I want your attention. I've got invention going again. I wanna be as much as I can in terms of the man you want me to be. But Kimberly, please don't be mad at me. Though I made this song, 'cause I'm your man and you're my girl. I mean my woman in the world. You're the one I will be with till my dying day. Yeah, I'm your man and you're my girl. I mean my woman in the world. You're the one I will be with till my dying day. Right. That's how the relationship ended. That's how the song should end, I guess. Just a complete collapse into clusterfuckery. Well, you tell me I've got some problems. You tell me they're no good. Well, you tell me I've got some problems, that I'm no good. You say everybody should throw rocks at me. Yeah, I've got some problems, like a bagel should. And from my ankle to my knee. Ankle to my ankle to. I've got problems, so do you. Though I'll acknowledge my problems are bigger by times two. That don't make me that much worse than you anyway. You say I'm terrible, that I'm no good. You say that they now ought to, or at least they should, Pummel me with rocks from a distance not far away. Watch me bleed out my existence. By the end of the day, I wish they would go away. Why don't you build a shoe factory or two? What would occupy your time? Amelia, go from that place. Take me into the details of your case. That's Eric. Amelia, go from that place. Take unto you the details of your case. Amelia, when you rise above, floating ahead and soaring like a dove, what will they say when they look at you then, moving sideways in the space you're in? Staring sidelong with your thirsty grin. Amelia, can't you see? You and I will never be. Amelia, yet you're still free. With too much opportunity to leave out in the rain. Amelia, Amelia, we're watching you fail for sure. No matter what we do. Amelia, when you rise above, floating ahead and soaring like a dove, what will they say when they look at you then, moving sideways in the space you're in, and staring sidelong with your thirsty grin? Amelia, can't you see? You and I will never be. Amelia, yet you're still free. Too much opportunity to leave out in the. Too much opportunity to leave out in the. Much opportunity to leave out in the rain. Amelia. Every life lived reaches a time when the road splits in two. There are times, dark times, times of despair, times when it's hard to feel good. That's when I look for my sack full of solvency and that satchel of helpful good. Satchel of helpful goods. Satchel of helpful goods. Every life lived reaches a time when the road disappears. There are times, hard times, times of despair, times when it's hard to feel good. That's when I look for a sack full of silent sea, and a satchel filled up with bones, and that satchel filled up with bones, and that satchel, yeah, that satchel, oh, that satchel filled up with bones. Well, I totally fucked that song up because what I never do, I try to look at the lyrics and stuff while I was playing it. I never do that. I don't know why I did this time. I guess because you're dumb, Eric. Yeah, you is. I guess you a dumb diz. Well, sure, I'm dumb, but don't call me diz. I'm not a dumb diz. I'm a regular diz. Wait, I got that backwards. Yes, you did get that backwards. That's why I'm showing you my scabbard. That's why I'm showing you my scabbard. I think this is perfect. Yeah, okay, good. Just brooding here won't do any good, but brooding's more and more my style. I seek the cheery ways of standing where we stood, 'cause I've been stuck here a while. That's despite a natural selfishness that makes it easy to have fun, but flutters in the gut become a fist as all my visions come undone. I tried to stream distraction during the afternoon away, but heavy new realities are breaking every day, and for a bit I am out of it, for reasons still unsaid, but still I need to get out of me what's inside my head. Seems like everybody's so sensitive and ready to just get mad. I stick to civil ways of living like a kid, 'cause who wants to be the dad? Have we lost our sense of scope and scale, our capacity to laugh, the sense to know when not to wail, and how to tip the golden calf? I tried to stream distracting during the afternoon away, but heavy new realities are breaking every day, and for a bit I am out of it, for reasons still unsaid, but still I need to get out of me what's inside my head. Until I'm sad, so sad for me, sad for her unhappily, and what you call sorrow I call home, blues that sink clear down to the bone. Still I'm sad, sad for me, sad for her unhappily, and what you call sorrow I call home, blues that sink clear down to the bone. And yes, I'm sad, still I'm sad. So sad for me, sad for her, unhappily. And what you call sorrow, I call home. Blues that sink clear down to the bone. And so I'm sad, yes, I'm sad. So sad for me, have her, happily, happily. What you call sorrow, I call home. Blues that sink clear down to the bone. Which bone, Eric? The bone. You know which one. Oh, the femur. Oh, I actually wasn't thinking that bone. Yeah. Nothing sexier than a hot femur. That's an unusual thing to hear. Well, it's true though, right? There is literally nothing sexier than a hot femur. I mean, if you insist, I'll take your word for it. I could probably think of one thing that's sexier than a hot femur. What? Your mom? Okay, well, I'll give you that one. Oh, right. I don't remember that other thing I want to play. I like this song a lot. Like that? That's a weird chord. Oh. Sweet talking guy, talking sweet kind of lie. Don't you believe in him? If you do, he'll make you cry. He'll send you flowers. Let's start the song over. Sweet talking guy, talking sweet kind of lie. Fucking sweet talking guy, talking sweet kind of lie. Don't you believe in him? If you do, he'll make you cry. He'll send you flowers and paint the town with another girl. He's a sweet talking guy, but he's my kind of guy. Sweeter than sugar, ooh, kisses like wine. And then under your skin, 'cause you'll never win. And then him up today, tomorrow he's on his way. He's a sweet talking guy, but he's my kind of mind. Why do I love him like I do? Stay away from him, stay away from him. No, you know you'll never win. No, you'll never win. Don't give him love today. Tomorrow he's on his way. He's a sweet talking guy, sweet talking guy, sweet talking guy. Stay away from him, stay away from him. 'Cause you know you'll never win. No, you'll never win. He'll give you love today, tomorrow he's on his way. He's a sweet talking guy, my kind of guy. That's a funny song. I gotta work on it. I don't really know how to play it very well, but I like it a lot. Another song that I like a lot, but of course playing this will get content notification probably from Billy Joel, but so be it. Okay, here we go. Duplicato. Mia. That's a long song. All right. What's the matter with the clothes I'm wearing? Can't you tell that they're out of right? Maybe I should get some old tap color. Welcome back to the edge of jive. Where have you been hiding out lately, honey? You can't dress trashy till you spend a lot of money. Everybody's talking about the new sound funny, but it's still rock and roll to me. What's the matter with the car I'm driving? Can't you tell that it's out of style? Should I get a set of wide wall tires? Or you gonna cruise the miracle mile? Nowadays you can't be too sentimental. Your best bet, true baby blue continental. Hot funk, cool junk, even if it's old junk, it's still rock and roll to me. It doesn't matter what they say in the papers, cause it's always been the same old scene. There's a new band in town, but you can't get the sound from a story in a magazine. And that's your average teen. How about a pair of pink sidewinders and a bright orange pair of pants? Well, you could really be a Beau Brummel, baby, if you just give it half a chance. Don't waste money on a new set of speakers. You get more mileage from a cheap pair of sneakers. Next phase, new wave, dance craze. Anyway, still rock and roll to me. What's the matter with the crowd I'm seeing? Don't you know that they're out of touch? Should I try to be a straight-ass student? If you are, then you think too much. Don't you know about the new fashion, honey? All you need are looks and a whole lot of money. Next phase, new wave, dance craze. Anyway, still rock and roll to me. That everybody's talking about the new sound funny, but it's still rock and roll to me. That's wonderful. That is so wonderful. I love that. Eric. That was wonderful. Eric, shh. Eric, I just want to tell you right now, that was absolutely wonderful. We were simply delighted. Really? Yeah. You complete us. Cool. Let's see. What am I searching for now? What am I doing? This is a shitty night, I guess. What am I looking for? Something very important. Oh, right. I'll find a couple of good songs here and I'll play them. You're just such an ENFP, though. It's okay. Even ENFPs can succeed like this. Oh, it's funny. I didn't know that. He's got a song called My 30,000. It's bad timing and me. We find a lot of things out this way. And there's you, a little black cloud in a dress. The temptation we had there. Let me start the song over. It's bad timing and me. We find a lot of things out this way. And there's you, a little black cloud in a dress. The temptation, we take the precious things we have apart to see how they work. Must be resisted for they never fit together again. If this is rain, let it fall on me and drown me. If these are tears, let them fall. Must I paint you a picture about the way that I feel? You know my love for you is strong, girl. You know my love for you is real. It took a short walk and a talk to change the rules of engagement. While you searched frantically for reverse. And then claiming that virtue never tested is no virtue at all. And so I lost my ignorance. And now the bells across the river chime out your name. I look across to them again. Must I paint you a picture about the way that I feel? You know my love for you is strong, girl. You know my love for you is real. That's a good song I didn't play very well. That's just because I'm shitty. That's why. Sometimes I'm shitty at things. It's how life goes. What is that sound? Where is it coming from? All around. What are you running from? Something you don't understand. Something you cannot command. That's how I know. She's got a new spell. Yeah, that's how I know. She's got a new spell. Well, what's going down? Who's moved this room from around me? Where is it gone? I fear this night will drown me, so I lie awake all night. 'Cause I can't sleep with something I can't fight. We got a new spell. I fucked it up. The laws of... It's because of this weird notation here. find something I can't find. The laws of gravity are very, very strict, and you're just bending them for your own benefit. I'm singing that part wrong. Whatever. It's been a while since I played that song or heard it even. This is it. Between Marx and marzipan in the dictionary, there was Mary. Between the deep blue sea and the devil, there was me. If ever anyone could help me with this discussion with the young Susanna Yauch, it was Mary. My pink pajamas, she asked for something, I gave her the short answer. She read our stars out loud, and I knew then that we should have gone sailing. But we stayed home instead, fighting on the waterbed like a honeymoon couple on drugs, me and Mary. All my friends from school introduced me to their spouses, while I'm standing here with the hand down the front of my trousers. I just don't know what to be done. I sometimes wonder, how did Dad meet Mom, and how did they conceive of me? Tell me, Mary. And the sound of happy couples coupling happily in the dark while you and I went down to tea. You remember you said to me that no amount of poetry can mend this broken heart, but you can get the Hoover out if you want to make a start. Oh, fuck. I have one more song I want to play. I forgot. I always like to end with this one because I've been practicing it, so I might as well. Some folk call me a rambling man because I do a lot of thumbing and a kicking cans, but it won't do an answer good to call me names. My daddy wasn't Willie Woodrow. I wasn't born and raised in no ghetto, just a white boy looking for a place to do my thing. I don't want no handout living, don't want any part of anything they giving. I'm proud of mine and I've got a song to sing. I said a few things and I'll admit it. If you won't get ahead, you gotta hump and get it. Just about for no more place to do my thing. I'm gonna find me a wealthy woman in a line of work that don't take no diploma, cause I ain't got much to lose but lots to gain. You might call me a good time fella, but I ain't no black and I ain't no yellow, just a white boy looking for a place to do my thing. I don't need no handout living, don't want any part of anything they giving. I'm proud of mine, I've got a song to sing. Well, I said a few things and I'll admit it. If you want to get ahead, you gotta hump and get it. Just a white boy looking for a place to do my thing. I'm a small town boy, been around a little, and I like guitar and I like the fiddle, cause that's the kind of soul that can pen my flame. Blue-eyed Billy, feared and ready, I got to work just to be somebody, just a white boy looking to be bye-bye-bye. I don't want no handout living, don't want any part of anything they giving. I'm proud of mine, I've got a song to sing. Well, I said a few things and I'll admit it. If you won't get ahead, you gotta hump and get it. I'm a white boy looking for a place to do my thing. Well, I said a few things and I admit it. If you want to get ahead, you gotta hump and get it. Just a white boy looking for a place to do my thing. long as it's so fun to play. It's shockingly fun to play. I want to play it again right now. Some people call me a rambling man because I do a lot of thumbing in the kicking cans, but it won't do an answer good to call me names. My daddy wasn't Willie Woodrow. I wasn't born and raised no ghetto. Just a white boy looking for a place to do my thing. But I don't want no handout living, don't want any part of anything they're giving. I'm proud of mine, I got a song to sing. Well, I said a few things and I'll admit it. If you want to get ahead, you gotta hump and get it. Just a white boy looking for a place to do my thing. I'm gonna find me a wealthy woman in a line of work that don't take no diplomas. I ain't got much to lose at lobster game. You might call me a good time fella, but I ain't no black and I ain't no yellow. Just a white boy looking for a place to do my thing. I don't want no handout living, don't want any part of anything they giving. I'm proud and wild and I've got a song to sing. Well, I said a few things and I'll admit it. If you want to get ahead, you gotta hump and get it. Just a white boy looking for a place to do my thing. Small town boy, fear. Small town boy, been around a little, and I like guitar and I like the fiddle, cause that's the kind of soul that fan my flame. Blue-eyed Billy, feared and ready, I got to work just to be somebody. I'm a white boy looking for a place to do my thing. Well, I don't want no handout, living no more than part of anything ain't giving. I'm proud and I ain't got all the time to sing. Well, I said a few things and I'll admit it. If you want to get ahead, you gotta hump and get it. Just white boy looking for a place to do my thing. Well, I said a few things and I'll admit it. If you want to get the hit, you got to hump and get it. Just a white boy looking for a place to do my thing. I played it better the first time. It was more fun the first time, but I still don't regret playing it again because it's a snappy little number. The thing just plays itself, you know. Of course, I don't agree with the racism of it at all, but I don't even see it as racist. I see it as sort of like an artifact of a long lost past or something. I mean, I'm a little optimistic about that stuff, but who knows? Only Jesus knows everything, not me. All right, those of you 6 people who stuck around through all of that, thanks a lot. Bangers and mash indeed. Oh, Matt Cates is here? Hey, what's up, Matt Cates? This is my hero, Matthew. You're a special one, Mr. Guy. Oh, Type Police song, right? Yeah, apparently I've been told I had it figured out wrong. I gotta relearn it a little bit. I thought I had figured it out, but I guess not. Good night. Oh, Matthew Cates. It's nice to see you here. I've been brooding about mortality. Who's the original by that last song? It's a white boy song? It's by Merle Haggard. It's a Merle Haggard song. I don't self-identify as white, so why would I write that song? I'm fluidly transracial. I'm just a fluidly transracial boy looking for a place to do my thing. Doesn't work nearly as well. So obviously Merle Haggard must have not identified as fluidly transracial as I do. So anyway, thanks for being here, everybody. I wish I had spent more energy talking to Matthew. I didn't even know he was here. I was just looking at the stuff I was trying to play. Thanks, both. I appreciate your feedback and I always tell you this: playing these songs over and over again here on live streams, the end of live streams, has gotten me to be. I'm getting better at them. Like I'm getting many of them down pretty well. It's learning to force myself to play it the same way every time and figure out exactly how I want to play it. It's kind of, what I want to do with the guitar and stuff. It's kind of tricky to discipline myself in that way, but I'm getting better at it. So thanks for listening, those of you who did. I appreciate it. See you later.